Ornate and ostentatious, this rich wooden door with large black windows that only show your reflection sit in a circle of stone. Like a golden Renaissance halo painted with loops and swirls, it tops this door, giving it an air of importance that may be more than it deserves. The brass handle sits the most demure thing here. It quietly twists in your hand and opens silently and smoothly.
You have loaded up and left the land of Gifts Ungiven, hoping that whatever it is that's going on with them is able to be resolved in a way that doesn't make things worse rather than better. Though there is a small light of hope in the writing of the Polar Express. It may not be completely fixed, it may not be working again yet, but the reason it was found and the reason it was where it is now is because of all of you. You hold on to that as you travel through what appears to be worsening weather. The sky is getting, the further you travel towards the City of Cold, bleaker and darker. And the cold is what it's always been, but there's a sharpness to it now. Something biting and cutting. It's hard to adequately explain, but the cold that you're used to at the North Pole is gentle. While absolutely frigid, it's a comforting cold. There's nothing cruel to it. This is the kind of cruel winter that takes people away from their families. This is the kind of cruel winter that has you shivering against bricks. This is the kind of cold, cruel ice that freezes black onto roads. This is a different kind of cold than what you're used to. Which in and of itself would be its own thing, but the weather is getting worse and worse. It's not long before you're in what appears to be a blizzard. Even Halley is having difficulty seeing where she's going and what she's doing. And all of you sort of thank every single Christmas spirit you could think of. There are no mountains in between where you're going.
I say, Halley, take us down. We're going to go by foot.
Got it. And she'll down to the ground.
As she begins to descend to get you all down, there is a gust of wind that feels almost like a hand grabbing the sleigh and yanking it to the earth. The landing is hard and bounces all of you. It's a rough landing in a way that you've never had to land before. Halley is almost dragged alongside the sleigh as it skids to a stopping point as you stand in the blizzard.
Okay.
For once, G.U.M.D.R.O.P is not reeling from nausea. He kind of jumps out of the sleigh immediately and is on guard.
Ninja Bread Man.
Cedar rubs her hands together. Oh man, some of my down just fell off. Is this what cold is like?
Yeah, the wrong kind of cold.
Ugh.
It's because the Snow Queen is here. And she's gonna notice any jolliness that we bring in. I think we should disguise ourselves.
All right, yeah. What do you want me to be?
A burnt cookie?
I want to do that.
You just have to act like it. Just rub some soot on yourself.
Oh, as soon as we see some, I'll get right on it.
I was thinking maybe, Halley, we could cover your nose.
Oh, no.
I know.
I don't know. This sounds a lot like bullying.
I'm sorry. It's to keep us hidden from the bullies. We have to blend in with them.
All right.
Cedar, maybe me and you can just put our hoods up.
As you're speaking to them, Cedar has been checking herself over and looking up and down and is just sort of whispering to herself, can't hear the bells on Christmas Day, can't hear their carols play, with dirt and sweat and coal, I guess. No goodwill here to play. and she casts disguise self, and she gets like a foot shorter, and her clothes all turn to this like dirty, dusky brown, like shades of dirty brown, and her coat has like black splotches on it, and she has like rough looking nails, and her hair is like black and stringy. Does that do?
Yeah, that's very good. Very bad, but very good.
Okay. This feels uncomfortable, honestly.
As all of you are getting geared up and set to be in disguises, you can hear a hiss.
Bless you.
When we hear that, I got ice daggers in my hands, looking around.
I would like to hide.
It would be like under the sleigh, but
That's fine.
yeah,
I got a 24.
you are blinked out, bud.
Upon seeing Jack's daggers come in, at first, like, the noise was not affecting her so much. Like, she didn't have an immediate reaction, but once the daggers come out, then Hallie's going to, like, charge up her antlers with her magic weapon and then just be on the lookout.
You see a single shard of ice. Shard is the wrong word, because it's enormous. Break out from underneath the ground, turn and stick its point into the earth, pushing the rest of its body out of the ground. This creature is all the kinds of sharp, dangerous ice, congealed into some kind of elemental force. It has this incredibly sharp, plentiful anglerfish-like teeth. Its arms are almost sides with these two pointed blades. The rest of its body looks almost skeletal, ending in a tail. It looms over all of you, and I need you to roll for initiative.
Hallie got a 7, and she looks at Jack and goes, Is that you? Are you doing?
No, that's not me. Jack got an 8. With the 8, he'll take a step in front of Halley.
Gumdrop doesn't say anything to anybody, but he's got a 16.
All right, Cedar?
17.
All right, Cedar, brings us to you first. What you doing, bud?
All right. When she sees this thing loom up, she's sort of startled a little bit. She's like, there's a song in the air. There's a star in the sky. And she casts Starry Wisp. So that's a 19 to hit.
That absolutely hits.
Yay! So it is going to take 9 radiant damage. Until the end of my next turn, it emits dim light on a 10-foot radius and can't benefit from the invisible condition.
Oh, perfect. All right, Gumdrop, you are hidden, so you would have advantage to attack.
I'm going to sneak up and do some attack damage, or try to attack, rather. That's a 14.
That is a miss.
And then I'll take my second attack. That's a 16.
That is a hit.
I'm going to take a bonus action for one more attack. All right, that's a 19.
Hit.
So that's 10 and 10.
Okay, so it's 20 all told?
Yeah.
All right, Jack, it's time for you.
How far away are we from this thing?
Probably about 20 feet.
So the first thing I'm going to do is just spread my arms with my daggers wide and try to pull in snow and ice to this thing, and I'm going to cast slow.
Okay.
I'm going to use a sorcery point to cast that as a bonus action.
Okay. It does fail.
Okay, so it is slowed. After I see that, like, the ice is kind of like wrapped around its legs and things to just slow it up a little bit, I'm going to take a deep breath in and then blow it back out and use my breath weapon. So it'll need to make a Constitution save.
All right, that was a crit. What is the damage type?
Cold.
As your breath weapon hits the creature, it appears to almost strengthen the big, huge scythe bits that are on the front of its body.
Okay, that was a bad idea.
Now it's Hallie's turn.
Hallie's gonna go, oh man, this never works. And then she's gonna go and charge this thing. And I say charge for flavor because she needs 30 feet to actually charge, so I know we're within 20, so flavor. But she's going to charge in and try to antler attack it and then spin and hoof attack it. And this is probably gonna fail as it always does. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a 10 for the antlers.
That is a miss.
Yeah, of course it is. It's 11 for the hooves.
That is also a miss. Do you have an inspiration or something?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. This always fails.
Given that Gum-D.R.O.P and Halley are the closest to this creature, it's going to take its two big scythe bee drill arms. It's going to rear up, and it's going to pierce them both down at each of you respectively. That's an 18 to hit Halley, and a 21 to hit Gum-D.R.O.P.
Yeah.
Can I disengage as a reaction?
No, that's no problem. Nod.
Okay.
Shake head.
Will do. Okay. Naujin.
All right, Daojin. That's 25 damage normally.
Cool.
It rears back its head and lets out a scream that echoes out in the blizzard. And you think in the distance you might hear a response. You're not sure if it's a response or an echo. Bringing us back to Cedar.
Didn't like that. She's going to see her friends get hit and look back and forth between them and look up at this thing and say, "Hark, Halley, help me sing. Glory to the Christmas King. Peace and mirth you have defiled. Hear the thoughts that make you feel reviled," and cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on it. So make a wisdom save.
I don't want to imagine what this thing sounds like laughing. It failed.
Okay, cool. It is prone and incapacitated for the duration, which is up to 1 minute, and I'm gonna feel that full minute.
All right, fingers
It
crossed.
laughs uncontrollably if it's capable of laughter, and at the end of its turn, and each time it takes damage, it makes another wisdom saving throw.
Okay, way to go. Gum-D.R.O.P, you're up, bud. So you have advantage now, right? Because it's prone.
Gum-D.R.O.P's just gonna wail on it. I'll do another key point and attack 3 more times.
Perfect.
That's a 19.
Hit.
That's a dirty 20.
Hit.
All right, that's a 19 as well.
Hit. Perfect.
Yep, nunchucks are just going nuts. 6 points,
Nuts chucks.
so 25 total.
Wow. What a smack. Oh, hold on. Let me roll the save. Nope, that's a fail. All right, continue, Jack.
He also gets to roll a save for slowed.
That is a fail.
So I'll run up and like the gusts carry me up 10 feet and I'll fly for 10 feet and then I drop down on this thing and I just go boom, and I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
So it'll make a con save.
That is a fail.
3 thunder damage and it gets pushed 10 feet away.
It's in the ground.
Hell yeah.
So just 3 feet down?
Sure.
10 feet.
10 feet.
All right. Sure.
I'm actually going to use another sorcery point and use Thunderclap. So after the initial hit, I clap my hands together and send like another burst of sound towards it.
All right.
So another con save.
Fail.
3 more thunder damage.
Boom, clap, the sound of my heart. All right, Halley, with advantage.
You got this.
I don't think I do.
It failed its save again. It is still laughing.
Right, so Halley's getting by the first time, not accounting for the ice, I guess, is going to attempt to turn and do another Antler to Hooves attack. 14 wouldn't do anything for me, would it?
14 would not.
It does have a -2 to its AC for being slowed.
Wait, it does have a -2? Then it does. It does hit.
Hell yeah.
I'm so happy to be here for this moment.
Alright, so that does 9 damage for the antlers, and then I'm going to try Hooves, and we'll see what happens. 18 to hit.
18?
18.
That's a hit.
This is such an exciting day. 11 damage with Hooves.
Do you want to victoriously describe the attack that you do, just since you've never gotten the opportunity to do? It's not dead yet. I just want you to have this moment.
I just love to imagine that the first one, she just goes skidding past and then is just able to kind of like counteract it, turn, hit it with her antlers. There's just kind of that hollow, like you're hitting ice, like it's not really, it's just clank. And then she turns around and just smacks it with her hooves. And it's a solid hit, but it makes the noise of like just kicking something hard. feels very proud of herself. She puffs up. Her furs go up. She looks very proud of what she's done.
Her chest floof is very floof.
Yeah, like literally nothing, like no visible sign on the beast. She just hits it twice and then looks very proud of herself.
So it looks like succeeded against the one for laughter. The creature is going to get up and kind of dig its spears into the ground and kick back, inhaling deeply. There's almost a cyclone surrounding its mouth before it sort of puffs out its neck and regurgitates this enormous boulder of ice that it's going to shoot in a direct line in front of it, which means that everyone but Jack, who was on top of it until just now, has to dodge it. The boulder is going to split through the air, almost dividing the very atmosphere it sails through, and hits direct for 28 damage.
I want to ask one small question.
Yes?
It's a long shot, but I do have deflect missiles. Is there anything I can do to redirect?
If you can give me a reasonable way that you would deflect this almost larger, this like larger than a cannonball-sized ice boulder, I will absolutely let you make that argument.
Are you familiar with how Wang Chung works with the redirection of things?
Yes.
I'm thinking of barely grazing it in a way that it just redirects.
I will allow you to do that in a way that will halve the damage as if they succeeded the saving throw for anyone who failed it.
That's great.
So yeah, that's a much less powerful hit.
Perfect. And is anyone within 10 feet of me?
I imagine Cedar and G.U.M.D.R.O.P both are.
Okay, so they also get a +1 to their saving throw from my aura of protection.
That's delightful.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right, that is a fail. So it's still slowed, but it brings us back to Cedar.
Okay, she's going to reach down to two little holsters on her hips and unclip them and pull out her daggers and just take off.
All right.
Very reminiscent of Christmases past, and do a flying leap for this thing with both of her daggers out.
What's that attack look like?
Got a 15.
That's a hit.
7 damage.
G.U.M.D.R.O.P.
G.U.M.D.R.O.P comes out of that spin, that twirl that he did to deflect the boulder, and just goes straight in for another nunchuck and kick attack.
Perfect.
And I'm going to do Flurry of Blows again. That's a nat 20.
Yeah, boy! Double max!
Love those. So the first one is just a regular one. That was max, so that's 10. Then double max makes it 30, and then 39.
Woof. Can you describe how, absolutely ridiculous that attack is? Because that's a huge one.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's coming off of, the total dodge, and then, pushing, Wang Chung style, pushing the boulder up into the air. And that spin just continues into he drops, 1 foot comes up under the chin of this monster as the nunchucks come around and just pummel it right in the kidney, and then, the back of it.
Likely where the kidney is.
The kidney zone?
The kidney zone.
The kidney zone. You know, that spot in Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, the kidney zone.
The kidney zone.
All right, Jack.
I'm going to try to be cheeky, see if this works. Can I use shape water to, take one of these things' limbs off? I can only do 5 feet.
Is ice not water?
Well, I can change ice or water consistency.
If you can change ice or water, it's in the rules. This thing is made of ice.
All right, so if I can, I'll take off one of its arms, try to, disconnect it at the shoulder or something.
The attachment between its shoulder and body deteriorates, melting and freezing right before it hits the ground, leaving a sharp spike of ice up from the ground. It lets out an absolutely horrifying shrill shriek before turning and focusing all of its attention on Jack.
With that, though, I'll fly up 10 feet in the air, back away from it.
All right, Halley.
It now has an arm that is off. It is off balance precariously. What is its relation to its now spiked limb?
So it was standing in a pretty, like, normal 3-point way. Now it has, despite the fact that it is horizontal on land, it's giving the impression of somebody hanging from a cliff by one hand.
If I can, I would like to maneuver over to the kind of opposite point of where it's hanging. Like, if I can identify the point of where if I try to hit this thing, it'll kind of push it and set it more off kilter, I would like to try that when I...
Yeah, absolutes.
19!
Yeah!
Not great damage-wise, just 2, but hey. And then now I'm going to try Hooves attack, and since I'm here and it's happening, I'm going to try to add a Divine Smite to that if I can.
All right.
18.
Hit!
It's happening for me! Ooh, okay. 13 more. So whatever I said plus 13 more, I think I said 12.
25 altogether.
Yeah.
With your antlers glowing with the power of Christmas spirit and all of the force and feeling that you have of protecting your friends and loving them, you slam in to this creature's remaining arm and cause it to shatter. The crack going all the way through. It lets out another shriek before it completely falls and shatters on the ground. The ice slowly returning to the ground and the snow and the blizzard. You stand there kind of huffing and kind of puffing, but you damn well smote this thing.